Hello. It's been a while, been a couple of days since I talked to, they made a video. Um, just happened, my phone went out on me, and so I then my laptop, my main laptop, which I'm on right now, was kind of acting up, and it's just like when it comes to these gadgets, they have the mind of their own. Well, anyway, speaking of that, before I play this video, um, this is going to be related to what's been going on with the people with these passport bros and with the women, with these women that are opposed to these men traveling. And what is my view about this? Is my personal view on how some people have this low expectation of people from different parts of the world, and they think that just in America, we think that we all that in the bag of chips, and there was a time that we were, but as you slowly see that we're becoming some of the other places in the world that are in poverty. Our poverty is risen over here. It's like a spirit of poverty is over here, and education, is getting costly, especially if you go to college, to high school and things like that. But I want to respond to a video and what Filipino P says, and what it is that when these women were objecting to these women coming from overseas, men going overseas, they start taking a jab at them about, well, they don't speak English too well, they lack education, they lack in different areas, so they must be desperate and point out, and which clearly that's not the case. These women are pretty smart. Like I said, I made in a video that I met a woman from the Philippines that was studying to be a doctor. Her and this dude was gonna get married, but he turned out to be a jerk. But she ended up probably went on here and finished her studies and became a doctor. And the time I went to California, I met a woman who worked at the motel, and she was a manager. And these women are very, very educated. And I don't know, and it's not just the people in the Philippines, but I have come across other people that probably came across the same mannerism. Just because someone has an accent and their English is maybe with a thick accent, it don't mean that they're stupid. It doesn't mean that they're dumb. And I don't know why, because I remember one time, this was two incidents. A woman was telling me that, and she was, I forgot, she's from some part of Eastern Africa, and she was a nice looking young woman, and she's a smaller statue type of woman, but so she was one of the people that would pick people up doing like Uber, Lyft and things. And so, because we were doing Uber Black at the time, this was back in 2014. But she told me how some of the customers wanted. But this one time, this one customer said something most egregious thing, just because she came from Africa, that she must be starving. I mean, and so in a round ignorant way, he was asking some blatant stupid questions, and she just kind of like watered it down. And so these people who are making these comments about people not educated, they're poor, they came to this, if they move around, they came to this country for probably because the currency and economics, and because the way the pay scale is over different parts of the world, like places in Africa and Asia, and the pay is different. The cost of living is different. The monetary value of equivalent is different. And so we get this kind of big-headed scenario that we think we're superior than other people, and that's not the case. You got some people that walk around, they never interact with people, and you have people that came from different parts of the world that are here, and they never make any contact with them. They don't sit down and have a conversation with them, and they make these innuendo things that they don't talk about. But I'm gonna make a short video on her, what she was saying.
You curious to see how I got paid $2,317.16
I'm gonna play a little bit of her video,
I literally did
and
not
we'll show you another
a
video.
second of time, a penny of my money.
Hi folks, the Filipina Bee here. And several months ago, I did a video about the way some Western women were attacking and insulting men who realized the relationship game in their home countries had become totally unwinnable, causing them to look for partners in other lands. This group of men, known as the Passport Bros, have recently become the talk of the town, whether it's to degrade them or to sympathize with their mission. In my video, I wasn't nasty to the women at all, and I used humor to poke holes in their objections. But the reaction was swift and brutal, and it looks like I might have had a hand in accidentally starting an international war between Western women and us Asian women. For several months now, the accusations and insults have been flying fast and furious back and forth across the Pacific, with other Filipinas getting into the action in social media. The topic has become so hot, in fact, that just last week, I was asked for an interview by one of the largest TV networks in the Philippines. But so far, I remained silent, until now. It's one thing to attack your own men, the ones who've chosen to leave. Of course you have the right to your opinions, just as I have the right to respond with my own. But when you go insulting us Filipinas, then your accusations warrant a response. And here's my response. Let's dive right in. First, let's deal with your claim that we Filipinas are somehow lacking in language skills.
Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English.
I just have one question. When was the last time you went to the Philippines? Or have you been to the Philippines? Have you also spoken to actual people from the Philippines in terms of speaking the English language? You gotta really check on what is current. I don't know where you're getting your statistics.
And you say we're not very good with read, write, arithmetic neither.
Women that don't have education.
Excuse me? For your information, we have stricter education and school system than the United States. So actually, Filipinos are multilingual. English is our second language, and we speak 150 dialects in my country.
Wow.
We have English subject from nursery till college. That's always part of our curriculum. It's not foreign women's fault if American men fall for them instead of you. You must understand, like us Filipino, we are naturally sweet. We are naturally like that, okay? And that's what they like about us, because we are just sweet, understanding, caring. It's not because we are submissive. We're not submissive. You ask my husband that, he will tell you I'm not submissive.
So when you say those things about us Filipinas, how do you think that makes us feel?
Don't tell us that we are uneducated. That I've been able to take care of my family. I became a breadwinner at the same time a homemaker, but I am as educated as you are. I graduated cum laude, and I am a teacher. And so it hurt me a lot when you're saying that people in Asia are uneducated, they are submissive. In fact, I am as empowered as you are.
You tell him, sister. And now we get to the videos that managed to attack the Passport Bros while insulting us Filipinas too.
When you go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or Eastern Europe or wherever these places are that are overseas, I'm assuming you mean they're more biddable, that they're less outspoken, they don't demand anything of you, that they're just happy
to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity, and in return, all they have to do is subject themselves to your advances. I do wonder at your motivation for why you want to go overseas to find a partner. Is it because you prefer your woman without opinions, unable to fight back, and vulnerable?
Yeah, you got me. I want out those overseas women who doesn't have an opinion in my little head. And I'll put up with your advances if only you'll rescue me from my life of poverty. Please, sir, I want some more.
These passport predators are the bottom of the barrel. And the reason they're going overseas to get women is because we don't want them. And they know if they go overseas, they're more likely to find a woman who will do whatever it takes to secure a better life for her family. Trust me, we don't want them, and we appreciate you guys taking out the trash for us.
You're welcome, lady, no problem. But what is a problem is that you're implying that we sell ourselves to do whatever it takes to be with a man that disgusts us. Are you calling us what I think you're calling us?
Passport pros are people who specifically go from country to country to country trying to find women, exotic flavors, to dabble in, right? Passport bros are like, oh man, I can't find any good women in the States, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else in the world. Like, women are inherently different in every other country. It really starts becoming weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced as ours. And a lot of these women are desperate, so they're going to take you up on that offer, right? They want someone who is going to be submissive to them. And what better way to find someone who's submissive to them than to find a woman who is at your beck and call? Because, you know, the only reason she's in the United States is because of you. Sounds to me like a lot of control issue. Right? And to be honest, ladies, these aren't the type of men that we want anyway, right? These men want a woman that they can control. And because they can't find it here in America because it's frowned upon to, like, own a human here, they go to other places in the world where they can legally own a human.
Well, I thought I'd heard it all, but I just found out that the Philippines has legalized slavery. I wonder how much I could get if I put on a little makeup. And once again, Filipinas are depicted as desperate, submissive, and at a man's beck and call. Do you have any clue how insulting that is? But at least you consider us adults, unlike these next women.
Clearly, underage girls. Do y'all realize when y'all make comments on videos like how women are just jealous? When we're talking about minors, meaning children, that y'all are basically telling the world what you've done or want to do. Mostly, I'm pretty sure a lot of you did. This is why I tell everybody, a man will do what he do to your 13-year-old or a 13-year-old if he know he can get away with it. Why would you think a woman would be jealous of a child? You stupid, nasty fool.
So now a passport bro is somehow a pedophile who's just looking to do what you do with a 13-year-old. Well, I don't know why you think we're underage, but we can't exactly help the fact that we look a lot younger than you think we should. And apparently, you're not alone.
This whole passport bros movement is evidence to me that in the end, the trash usually takes itself out. Like, the creepiest, strangest, and most annoying of men are deciding to leave the country and pursue children in developing countries instead of bothering us. And I'm not mad at it, but I think it's funny that they think we're mad about it. Go ahead, get your passport and leave too, because clearly nobody in America wants you.
Okay, it's bad enough that you call the passport bros creepy, annoying, and strange. But the fact that you aren't even bothered if they pursue children says a lot about your priorities. And thanks for implying that men can just come over here and hang around with children. You may not know this, but the Philippines takes that kind of thing very seriously. If a man is even seen with an underage child, he's immediately reported and investigated. Oh, wait a second.
Put in prison.
I forgot. We're too uneducated and submissive to say anything about it. Carry on.
Sarah Vidal.
Before I get back to her video, that was embarrassing. I mean, that's just embarrassing. As somebody from my country to say something like that to these women about these. And how can why would you say something like that? Like, why would you say about a bunch of grown men going over there and doing something like that? And anybody know that if that would happen and they get caught with an underage person, they would go to prison. And not only they would go to prison, they would deport them back to America with the record. So why would you, and they're not going to allow that over there. I believe that. They're serious about that stuff over there. This is embarrassing. And none of these women never probably talked to a Filipina here in the States. They probably never talked to some of these people. They have never talked to any, because there are Philippine women throughout the United States, and I'm surely they would appreciate you. That's one thing. They're not all the way American with the American mindset. They still got people back there. They still got relatives and friends back there. And you insulting the Philippine men. I'm pretty sure they would appreciate you saying something like that about Philippine men and women. I mean, that's just crazy, man. It's like, that shit. And thank God none of these women would ever want to go. They don't even need to leave the United States to say some stuff like that, because that is so ignorant. That is really, really downright ignorant. And they wonder why because the men don't want to be bothered whether they're black or they're white or any other. Because when they hear mess like that, they know they're crazy.
Sarah Vidal.
That's ridiculous.
Versatile and creative.
Still not. Passport bros are real. They're saying they're going to other countries to find more submissive women. No. Which means they are strategically picking countries that are stereotyped for having very relaxed, if any, rules around these two things. So they're going to other countries not to find submissive wives, but to find women and girls that they,
Sure, lady, there are no laws about domestic violence here. Our husbands can beat us all they want. And we're so submissive and desperate that all we can say is, please, sir, I want some more. So the implication is that men come here for the purpose of targeting women and girls. There's that pedo thing again. Just so they can physically abuse us. Do you have any evidence of that? Or does it just feel so good to say it? But what about the claim that it's all about money?
I literally have all the money in the world but cannot find a man. I've been in that struggle. And I've thought to myself, should I go to another country to find a man? Should I go to a different place? Is it just New York City? Should I go to a different part of the country? Like, where can I find this man for me? What is very different about me, though, and in my situation that distinguishes me from a passport bro, is that A, I have a lot of money. So I'm not going to Thailand to prey on young boys who have no money. I'm not saying, oh, let me go to some developing country, somebody who's not privileged, and prey upon their young boys. Like, I'm not doing that. When I thought about traveling to different places, I thought about going to luxury spots, like going to nice places and meeting people at a similar socioeconomic status, similar situation, people that are doing well, people that can understand what it's like to date a woman with means. I think that is why there is such a disdain, and certainly I feel this, a disdain towards passport bros, is because they're not playing on an even playing field. They're not saying, oh, let me go to San Diego and go to like the nicest, country clubs and let me go and meet somebody. No. These people are saying, wow, people here don't respect me because I'm literally not doing well, and I have to go to a country where people are living on less than $10 a day, and that's where I'm going to find my spouse. That is the part I have a problem with, because then it becomes very predatory, very creepy, and just kind of inappropriate. But again, when you throw in the financial inequity and the patriarchal system of preying under both youth as well as this gender disparity and the privilege that comes with that, I am not with it. I'm not with it.
Okay, lady, it's great that you have more money than God, and your biggest struggle is choosing which high-end resort to meet men at.
Lord
But
have
stop
mercy.
for just a second and listen to what else you just said. Women in your country don't respect men that aren't doing well. So what's a man supposed to do when he's not dripping $100 bills from every orifice in his body?
Right.
How lucky for you that you can go hobnob with the rich and famous. But you do know not everyone's as fortunate as you, right? You say that people should find someone on their own economic level. But if a man who's not doing well isn't wanted there, what's he supposed to do? Just give up because Western women aren't interested in the contents of his wallet? Or maybe they can find a place where women won't reject them for their lack of resources, like the Philippines. What's wrong with that? It's amazing that when you find your level, it's just fine.
Right.
But when a man does the same thing,
Right.
it's creepy,
Right.
predatory, and inappropriate.
Right.
And of course, it somehow involves the dreaded patriarchy. But even when all your arguments have been thoroughly destroyed, you've still got your favorite go-to tactic: anger.
But I would contribute and to getting you a job. You're going to be exposed.
I mean that. First of all, they're grown men. They could, whether they probably had the money to go to the country club, but they choose not to go to a country club. Number two thing, they got the money to do it. And so how do you know what they're doing over there? How do you know? You haven't talked to any of these men? So you make these accusations, you don't really sit back and listen, go to their page and see what's really going on. I have sit back and listen to them. I'm not a travel bro. But what I've heard from one, they say they want to go over there because they want to see something with a different culture. The cost of living, there's the cost of living. They are advised on what, if anything happened to them as far as their health. This is what the travel passport bros talk about. They talk about health. They talk about the cost of living. The sightseeing to go, where to go, what to be careful of, what to bring, what not to do. When it comes to don't be flashy with your money. So I have never heard them ever even saying anything repulsive on meeting underage young women and boys on that matter. Or there's some creepy people, they probably come from different parts of Europe. There might be a few individuals that came out of different, that there was a segment. This is where this came from. And they saw some special, and there was a few people, bad apples in the seed. It had nothing to do with the passport bros. It had nothing even to do with them. But they put them in the same category as one guy would say, the passport Joes. And not even passport Joes. You just got some creepy people that if they was creepy in their own country, they did some creepy things when they got over there, and it went undetected. Plus, they got punished for it over there. Because I've seen segments on Vice TV when someone is a tourist do something wrong, they give them like 5, 10. They don't play over it in the Philippines and in places like that. They do not play. And so you do a crime over there, you're gonna do, and it's look, the conditions you don't want do whether you're a man or a woman in the Philippines prison or jail over there. From what I've seen, so I know they ain't doing nothing stupid like that. Thing, for one thing, if they got the money to travel, they not obligated to talk to women here. Maybe they have talked to women here, but they saw that they have a bad personality, and maybe the men that had the money, they saw what kind of personality that these women had, and that they're so superficial. That's what the last woman on that part. And so, number two thing, they encourage people to come over there and want tourism. So tourism, since the beginning of time, like some people go in the military, have done something to the economy because they spent in their businesses over there. So that makes the infrastructure over there. But I guess some of these dumbass Americans don't see that. That's what they contribute. contributing something. And that's what the Passport Bros and Passport Joes and the men that travel, that's ex-military, businessmen, or whatever, are going over there. If you would sit back and at least listen to the guys what they're saying, and just hear what they're saying, why they travel, instead of just making these accusations, go to a Facebook travel group. If you, because there's one is called Black Men versus Black Brazil. It's a numerous one, and most of the time they talk about travel, they talk about different items, they talk about what's going on politically in the country, and what to do. Is it when's the best time to travel? That's what they talk about. And these women, I said, it's like I said it previously before, they don't want to compete because it's to his standard. Because you think a man should be subjected playing. You got some women that play mind games. They're very entitlement, and some of it because some are men's fault. Because we can pump their head up because we see the body of a woman, like in every. But see, with the women here, like women anywhere else, they get big headed, and they think that their value is their body, and that it gives us some kind of attitude. And then you get this superficial feministic ideal. This would cause it, and this is why men are getting tired, and even men at higher income levels are tired. So even the men that are not at the top, near close there now, they're not qualified enough. To the last woman's comment on that one, so they're not even qualified. So what's, like she said, what's the man supposed to do? And like I said, I've seen couples. I seen one guy that was bigger than me, a black dude. He was heavy set, and his woman loved. He went to the Philippines. It was a heavy set white dude. He wouldn't get a time of day here with women over here. They wouldn't give him a time of day. They'll give him the nice guy treatment. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen a man who was disabled, who had a stroke. Half of his body is getting work, but his Filipino wife loved the crap out of him. See, what it is that to these silly American women, they don't have what they call love. They don't know how to love. So that's easy for you, and that's something that, and it's going to show you that some women in places like Africa, the Philippines, and Thailand, they know how to love a man, and when you don't know how to love a man because you feel like you should be entitled to that. So that's what this is about. So, and what it is that they don't like to compete. And to any foreign women that's listening to this video, that's what they got against you. They don't like to, because we, as American men, we done puffed up their head over here. And society and everything has puffed up. So they give them some kind of ego and attitude that say the things that they say, because it's not that the women are not attractive, but they can't even keep a man long enough. I was watching a video, and it's a well-known actor over here, Michael B. Jordan, and he's on for Black Panther. You probably seen it. He's a black guy, right? When he was in school, people call him a geek. When he was in college, they think he was geeky. Soon as he get a good job, and first of all, his girlfriend, real popular young woman, was Steve Harvey's daughter. She wanted the 304 life, what they call the 304 life. He was serious about it. So it kind of probably broke his heart a little bit, and all of a sudden there was this one commentator saying that, oh, he was corny. But as soon as he start coming up and start making $1 billion, she's the same woman that got a job because she's like a reject she was a reject rapper and model. So she said some stupid stuff like he was corny and everything. Then she come back and so-called kissing up to his behind. And he said, hey, what, you the one that called me? And I like the way he handled her, man. Because some people don't forget that. But these same women don't have the personality to keep a man. That's what it is. They don't have a personality. It's not that they can't get a man. It's that no man don't want to deal with that personality, that egotistical, and that's what it is. That's and this is. I'm gonna look at this video.
It's giving you need to be in a mental health facility. I don't know. I feel like everything black women do is a problem. I don't feel I don't feel safe.
Hey, what's going on, good people? In this video, we're going to be discussing a woman who had very low vibrational things to say about passport men, and she decided to put that energy out there, and ultimately that energy got returned to her. So, we definitely going to get into it and break it down, but before we do, can you take a second to hit that subscribe button and make sure that you are actually subscribed to this channel? Like the video, leave a comment down below. I'm not here to waste your time. Let's get right into it.
So I wanted to give my take on the passport boys, aka these men that are leaving the country to find their wives or to find women that they feel like are more traditional than American women. First comment, get a grip. Like, are you guys really being for real? The fact of the matter is the average woman does not even require that much. But the average man is not willing to
When all we have been seeing a high record of women calling into these shows talking about they need a man that make $500,000.
How much money do you think a guy should make per year? I mean, if I'm like dating them, it'd be nice if they were at least making 100,000. $1 million, 2 million, 500K. A lot. We're expensive.
Yeah. Mills.
How much should your man make in a year?
Can we make it monthly? At least 100K a month.
Isn't that a bit high compared to the average income?
Women's standards are outrageous, and I do believe that's one of the major reasons why men are leaving out of this country as fast as Superman.
as a woman in America, why in 2022 would I settle for a man that expects me to basically be a slave and maid? In America. America. So, I mean, I see why y'all gotta go overseas to sell the bull to other women, but another thing you're missing and point you're missing is you need money. Y'all think foreign women are cheaper or something? Or, like, you think it's not gonna cost money to bring a woman over here, make her a citizen, get her acclimated to this culture? Like, it's gonna take time, energy, and money that y'all can't even give to women that live here in your own culture. Just make it make sense, because you guys are delusional.
Once again, calling these men broke, telling them their lack of income. That is a lot of women's number one go-to insult when it comes to men. I mean, if he's not a millionaire, most women, that's the number one insult they're gonna
That's true.
no matter how much money you
That's true.
It's giving you need to be in a mental health facility, because instead of being introspective and looking at your actions, what you're doing that's maybe not working out in your favor, y'all would rather like go to another country and just continue the toxicity on different women in different cultures. You think they're not gonna call your bluff or figure out that you're full of shit? It's like y'all think foreign women are dumber or something. Like y'all think they won't have standards, because even if a woman wants to be a traditional woman, that doesn't mean she's gonna put up with your bullshit. That's the part that these men are overlooking. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get a woman that's traditional. Plenty of women in America want to be traditional wives. They want to stay home and take care of their kids. They want their husbands to be providers. But within that, they also want faithfulness. They also want men who are focused on God and not the streets and not women on their Instagram. Like, be fucking for real. I know it's hard to accept the fact that the problem might actually be you, but running away from the problem to try to go to a different country to bring a woman over is not gonna solve your problems. Like, you guys are so desperate. It's giving
That's what happened.
and get what you think you want. But I promise it's not what you want.
And even what she just said went over her head. If you got a lot of men who are desperate to get out of this country and
Right.
find traditional wives,
Right.
that should send you a message in your head to change your ways.
Exactly.
A lot of men, we know how to get to a point where, hey, man, you know,
Exactly.
I need to get myself together. I need to fix things in my life.
Right.
A lot of these women feel that they don't need to change. They don't
Exactly.
need nothing. They are perfect. They are a perfect hot mess
Exactly.
on their own. Okay, now let's get to the video where she finally cracked down after receiving some pushback and some heat for her comments that she made in that post.
I'm at the airport in Atlanta, and I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. In addition to just feeling disrespected and unappreciated by men in my own life, it's another thing when you wake up to comments on the internet by other black men who just
Now she gotta play the race thing.
I don't know. I feel like everything black women do is a problem.
And look, guys, I grew up around women. I got plenty of sisters.
Right.
Right now, she's struggling to get that ugly cry out for the camera. Look at her trying to force these tears. These ladies are the most creative with their gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel safe, protected, loved around my own men. Men of my race, and it hurts. Because black women go so hard for y'all. We go so hard for black men. And they just never do the same for us. And I'm tired. Some of the comments I read were so hateful, just and racist. Like, the white man doesn't even have to do the job for you because black men do the job of for them. I've never been called ugly, unattractive, ghetto, and just all of the negative things that people say about black women by anyone other than black men.
And she's the one talking about these passport men having mental health issues.
Right.
Now she's the one breaking down because she cannot handle what she dished out.
Exactly.
She's recording this, making a post about it.
Exactly.
She on here crying like Tyrese on camera. And just earlier she was Debo shaming passport people.
Right.
And you know what? I'm sick and tired of y'all bullying us. I'm sick and tired of us being quiet. And y'all just wonder why we are quote unquote angry. We're not angry, we're tired. No more 2024.
These women just need to stop making these videos, period.
Exactly.
I'm glad to see these men returning fire.
Exactly.
But anyways, that's all I got in this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like.
And I'm gonna finish this video off right here. She went and said something, and you don't think the men was gonna respond? You didn't think that the men was gonna push back at you? You coming at them and insulting them and saying that you're you getting desperate and everything? She don't think about the video that she just made. And it's like, what the men supposed to just be quiet? No, this some men ain't gonna take it no more. And there's some men that just like, okay, whatever, get out of my face. And there's some men that don't. Then she played the race card, but she's the same type of female that talk about the black men ain't worth nothing. They ain't broke. They this and they that. And like you just heard it, but but you just dished it out on your own men. And that just that's on TikTok. So that went all over the world. So them other women in other countries just saw you said that. It was mentioned about the men in your community. But you're so frustrated, and like he said, stop making these videos about it. Stop making these videos and getting all up in your feelings. I mean, that's just common sense. The dudes want different choice, and like the part of the video, I want $1 million. I want a man to make $100,000 to $1 million. Ain't the average man ain't making that. And if he was, he ain't gonna cater to you. If he is making that kind of money, he gonna want to expect something that's not entitled. And because I don't have to do anything, I'm pretty and I got a butt and I can talk sweet. No, baby, them days are over. Because there's other women that come to compete, but not only they come with the pretty face and the body, they come with the personality, and they come with, hey, I would treat you like the king that you are. And that's what the women over in other countries have done. And that's what the men who are able to afford to go to those countries have done. And the ones that's making 100 grand or more, and some that's making less than 100 grand is going, because women here have told them, you just like in that video, well, he got at least make $1 million. So you all about materialistic things. And what you need asked the dude about, what if his character, there are multi-millionaires that were fucking cuckoo, and it killed it. And when they found that their wife was about to leave, they deleted her. If their girlfriend's about to leave, they deleted her. So you didn't even ask the character. Just because someone got money doesn't mean that they have a sound mind. There's a lot of people, they could be psychotic. You know, and treat you like to tie you up in a slave, tie you in the basement. There's people that do stuff like that who have money. So they think that, so you put yourself in a position, you think you just gonna just do what you and manipulate. No, there's some men who money that you can't manipulate. You can't manipulate, dear. There's some men that's gonna manipulate you and gonna control you, because if they got the money to do that, they ain't gonna. Oh yeah, I don't know where they get this fancy. Oh, I'm under the spell. Oh yeah, here's 100 grand. Oh yeah, I need 100 grand. And just think like you're gonna live like Paris Hilton or somebody. Them days are over, baby. You can't do what the NFL NBA wives do. You need to get a reality check. That's what it is. You need to get reality. You didn't even ask what kind of man that he is. Not only that he can provide, but is he a protector? Don't you want the full man? A good listener? Someone can guide you? Someone give you insight? Someone you maybe allow you can be an insight for him. That's what it's really about. But you have women here that are not mature for that. They're not ready. So you don't have to compare. And like I mentioned in many videos, you ain't gonna be a slave to you. So doing something that you would do for yourself, if you had a child, if you had a pet, or if you had an elderly parent, you would be cooking and cleaning after them anyway. You would take care of them. Even when you take care of a pet, you got pick. They poop up after it, and they go outside. You got to take it to the vet, right? And you got to feed it, right? So you would pick how the dog and the cat gonna feed itself. They gonna open up the bag and open can the dog food. I mean, what is it? A little child, a little baby, a child to under the age of 10. They don't know how to cook. Then what you gonna let them cook and burn the stove down? This is what you need to think about these things. You need, and the women who talk like this, they need to think. That's why the men are leaving. You're not qualified mentally. You're not qualified to be their woman. Now imagine that no matter when, regardless of what their income is, just that you making these videos show how psychotic you really are. That you don't have you try and come up like you got self-esteem, but you're not even coming off like that. You make yourself sound bad in front and make yourself look bad. And what about the men in their hometown or where they from and recognize their face? And I bet you majority of them are single. What does that say to the men? That you don't care, You all you about is your superficial self. Because you caught up into this fantasy land. You're not in reality. So the reality is about to hit these women here in America. It's about to hit really hard. A lot of them gonna be alone. If they do, you're gonna either gonna be subjected to a man who got 3 or 4 baby mamas because he got some record, he can't or don't want it because he can't go nowhere, or you can deal with another woman because that's the only way another woman who looks like a man. That's gonna be your options after a while. Who looks like, and there's some women that try to look like men, try to do everything like a man too. So y'all, you kind of lean toward that spirit. So the woman said, well, I don't need. Okay, then let's be a couple then, because that's where it's going. But the women who really love and honor and respect a man and will give him a time of day, them the women, and that's something that it says something about a Western nation like America. That you throwing all this, but the women over there are saying we got a character of a woman that you don't even have. You don't even know how to be a woman. You losing something that naturally that God putting you to have, because you're so entitled, and because you think just because of body and the face that men should just fall down. And just give you everything you do, and you don't have to do and nothing in return, because you're a woman. And now men are letting you know that them days are over. Even the men that wouldn't harm or flee, and you got good men that don't have no record. There's no domestic abuse. You should want someone like that don't want to cheat on you. You should want something like that, have good character. You should want something like that, but no, you want to fix a man. I don't know, nigga, you trying to be like a sort his God or something like that. That finally I had to correct him. No, you didn't have to correct nothing. It's God the most God to correct him like he had to correct you. That's the reason why some of these women who are making these videos, and some of them look fairly attractive. But you know why no men ain't gonna stay? If they did get a man, because that mindset is gonna turn some men off. And they can fool it for a while, but as soon as they break character, that man's gone, just like that. Watch what I'm telling you. And just because someone speak, they know what's going on. And them people speak in the Philippines, speak about how many dialects did she say? Not only that, they speak English and their native English, and the native also they speak Spanish, because some of the names Spain was over there, so some of them can probably speak Spanish too. So don't think that they and probably some other languages, because of the different nations that see. Some of you need when you places like Thailand and Philippines, because that's different countries have been over it, so they picked up different ways of communication. Some people in that country can talk their different languages along with their language. So don't make that they dumb. We're the ones that's dumb in this country, because we think we so entitled and everything. Man, they put us to shame in areas, and some of us. But the reason why these women who making these TikTok videos, they're gonna be alone. They have a long journey, and even on the other videos, because you might meet the man, he can brag all that, but what if he's a narcissistic? He don't give a damn about you. He making all that money. There's men like that. He don't give a squat about. He don't care if you bleed to death. There's some men that like that, who got money like that. They don't care. Or you just a piece of me. But that's why I say you don't know what you. That's why I say you don't think. You don't. Some of these women that make these videos, they don't think about that. They don't think that the character of a man is important, not his bank wallet, not his what he can do for me, that I can just, I ain't gotta be submissive to him. No man don't want to deal with, no one they don't want to deal with a contentious argument woman. That's even in the Bible, dude. That's in the Bible, in Proverbs. That he rather deal with your contentious behind. He'll go sit up on the roof and to deal with you. And that was, and that's saying a whole lot. I don't know why was that put in the Bible, but that was put in the Bible too. A couple paragraphs about women being contentious. And again, the reason why those women, they because they have the quality that's basically on honor, and that's something that some American women are losing. They don't have no honor. So guess what, ladies? Those women over there in Thailand and Philippines, you saying they can't speak a word. They're getting the men that you reject, and they're gonna get the best of your men because it's your fault. Because you listen to the system and you listen to this fight, and then some of these women is going to wake up. Trust me, guys. I'm telling you, they're going to wake up. They're going to wake up and see what's really going on. This is the way, the dynamic way, because they're going to look at people who are married and happily married around them, who are they're still married, and here just as well as here, and that's why they're so single. Why their sisters are married, their cousins are married, their aunties are married, and they still single. Ask yourself that. Why is that you got all these attractive women, whether they white or they black, whatever, but they single? Why they don't want a husband? And then when they get the man like a Sierra, a Sierra. She's a very attractive woman. Got a husband is in the NFL, and you still talk about being single. You got the men. You got the men. That most women around the world looking for a man that's going to be a good character. Even if they had to pay a price with their body, get knocked over the field. Take a good husband, provider, and you talk about keeping other women single, and you wonder why men are leaving. You wonder why? Do you seriously get asked that question? And these younger women are getting that kind of mindset. It's you. You need to focus. It's not, like I said, you have, like I said, and it's some of our men's fault because we put you on a pedestal. And the pedestal is coming down because you got so egotistical. And you can't do what some men do. Because you can't put one man, do the one man like some men do women. Some men are waking up, and that's the part. Because like some women wake up, some men are waking up. Men, and it's something that is internally that God's waking the man up, and making the man the most timid man, the most strongest man. I'm trying, you don't get it. You're not. They're here to compete. Like I said, I met women online that play just being friends, just trying to be a friend to a woman, not even taking it to the next step. Show me her immaturity. Shows me how immature. Talk about gift card. Give me a gift card. I mean, you're playing mind games, putting fake photos on somebody. They play too much here. They ain't serious. These younger women, they ain't serious. That's why they're going to lose. But the women over there, they ain't going to lose. Men are tired playing your game. It's over. Unless you better pray the Lord that He teach you how to get around some women that teach you how to be a woman. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. That would be my advice to the women, and some of these women in America. You better wake up. Listen to the men. Listen to when the man says something. That's it. It ain't about no debate and arguing. That's it. When the man say that his mind made up, that's it. You ain't doing nothing. And here's the sad part about it. When the men stop procreating, watch what's gonna happen. Procreating with you. to the ones that's single. Now, this don't apply to the married people. But like I said, my heart to go out to the widows, widow women who are widow, who are not like that, the women who've been in an abusive relationship, not like that, who gave their heart to a man and he didn't appreciate. My heart goes out to you. But these entitled women is because they stuck on their looks and everything, because they stuck on their income and everything, their education. They have no idea what is about to hit. And men are telling them. There are men from every walks of life I've seen over the internet. Men that they would probably give a time, some men that they would probably, as soon as they see him, like, wow, wow. But yeah, they get tired. They get tired of your personality. You got the man, you got the perfect man, he can be perfect, his income perfect, looking, everything else. But you screwing up because you being a dingbat. That's the reason why. And they get to me, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this mess. I'm gone. They leaving. Keep acting a fool. Keep making these silly videos. Because you're doing a good job. And they go start exiting the next 5-10 years out the country. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep it up. Just keep doing what you're doing. You just showing the men who maybe haven't got there or about to get there. And they're going to look back and say, yeah, then you tell me, you're going to be like, then you tell me my income wasn't well enough for you? I was a lame? Going to be like a Michael B. Jordan and other men. Keep it up. And you're going to be stuck looking stupid. That's the guy that blew off, yep. And he ain't coming back. There's no reaching back to you either, like the one brother says. Ain't no reaching back. It's over. But anyway, that's my spit for the day. But yeah, but stop thinking that people in other countries are stupid. They're smart. We're the ones that ain't so smart. If that's your opinion. No, some of us Americans are very stupid when it comes to the world. We're very dumb. Some of us have never been out this country, the ones making these statements like these women. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, when anybody is a video to another country, no, we lack we might have this and have that, but when it comes to someone with common sense, we don't have it here. We're losing it. It's because of Western mindset, and it's sad. And we about to pay the price. So anyway, you guys take it easy. Till next time, be blessed. And hey, to the women, you better shape up, or else the men are gone.